Hey, it's Derek, and I just wanted to talk to you. If you find yourself in a pregnancy situation and you're not a member of Samaritan Ministries yet, but were wanting to join Samaritan Ministries, first of all, no problem joining. You agree to the Samaritan guidelines, statement of faith, have a church leader sign all that. You can join Samaritan. That's not an issue. But the pregnancy itself will have limitations. It's not shared through the regular sharing process. It's put in a different bucket. A few things to note when you have a pre-existing pregnancy coming into Samaritan. First of all, um, since it is in a different bucket and not shared through the regular sharing process, it will be that you run it through a process called the special prayer need. So that'll kind of be the main way that you get help with the maternity expenses. Now, one cool thing about the special prayer need is that you don't need to have multiple people on the membership. Under the non-pre-existing maternity, I guess, you have to have at least two people on the membership, yourself and a spouse, yourself and a child, in order for maternity to be shareable at all through that process. With the special prayer need, just the mother needs to be on the membership. If just the mother is on the membership, you can join, and all of the expenses are run through the special prayer need process after the baby is born. So you gather up all the bills, whether that is prenatal care, lab work, sonogram, all that stuff, all the way up through labor and delivery, all of that. You gather all those together and you run them through the special prayer need process. And by the way, if you want to wait a little bit and get a bunch of baby well checks and throw them in with that whole thing, you could do that too. Those aren't shared through the regular sharing process, but those could be shared as a part of a special prayer need. You only need one person on the membership um, in a pre-existing maternity scenario, and then of course, keep in mind future maternity needs. You would need two people to run through the regular sharing process. So then you submit it as a special prayer need. And of course, you're calling Samaritan, talking to a member advocate, and getting all the information that you need there so that you know how to go through that process. They will walk you step by step through that. It's an 877-764-2426 number. You just talk to one of them, 8 to 5 Central Time, Monday through Friday. They'll walk you right through that whole process. Samaritan wants to help if you have a pre existing pregnancy. So the special prayer need, what they do is they run that through a process where they alert a bunch of members to your need, similarly to the way that they would a regular need, but they then put a suggested amount. It's optional giving. It's like a giant free will offering. You say, well, forget it then. You don't know what's going to happen. True, you don't. But Samaritan puts your need in front of enough people that if everyone gives the suggested amount, usually between $20 and $30, then that need would actually be met in full. So that is one thing to keep in mind there. Now, in that process, the cool thing about the special prayer need is that a lot of people don't know is that you can call Samaritan. Let's say you have that special prayer need run, and let's say you get 25%. You have a $10,000 maternity need, you get 2,500. But you give Samaritan that information and let them know, hey, I'm interested in running that again if that's possible. And usually it is, and they will run those same bills through that process again, um, and possibly a third time. This is something that Samaritan does because they would like to see you get help with those expenses. Now, it's not the normal sort of required giving process. It's not the regular sharing process. It is the special prayer need process, but so you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how people will respond exactly, but a lot of members give to that. And Samaritan does some cool things to try to get people to give to that. But at any rate, the 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 issue here is that you can get help, and you can have it run 2 or 3 times. And let me give you a quick story. One of my buddies came into Samaritan at this recording. It was a little over 3 years ago, and he and his wife lost their insurance, and at around the same time realized we're pregnant. And so they had to do something about that. So they investigated different healthcare sharing ministries. They landed at Samaritan, one, because they knew some folks that were members, but two, they were able to submit that as a special prayer need. So they figured, well, I guess if we'll probably join Samaritan Ministries anyway, so let's just try the special prayer need. So they did that. They ran it through the process. They got some percentage, 25%, something like that, whatever it was, 30. They called later after they'd had it run the first time. They followed the instructions from the member advocate they spoke with, and they ran it a second time. They got more money. After that was all done, they called a member advocate again, got it run a third time, and the need was completely met at 100%. Now, that's no guarantee that you're always going to get 100% of a need met with a special prayer need. Definitely not what I'm saying in this video, but that's what happened to my friend, and it is possible. And of course, with God, all things are possible. We do look at God as a provider of all of our needs as believers, right? So we're actually trusting in Him, but God can use the special prayer need to meet the need for a pre-existing maternity situation. So just want you to be aware of that. A couple other things to note. Samaritan does have a couple of partners that might give you some help along the way. One would be Healthcare Blue Book. They might help you, if there's some kind of testing that you're having done, they might help you find some lower costs in your area for that kind of a test. They also have a lab work partner that gives you a 50 to 70% discount on lab work. Any lab work you have done during the pregnancy, that would be there as well. Or if you just don't have a provider, you're wanting to find a good maternity provider, good, friendly to self-pay patients. Again, Healthcare Blue Book is a partner that Samaritan Ministries has that would be able to help you possibly find a good provider. And of course, ask around. Of course, you want to talk to your friends and that kind of thing. You're a self-pay patient as a member of Samaritan. This is going a lot longer than I thought it would, but you're a self-pay patient as a member of Samaritan, so you get to choose your own providers. So that's, you want to do home birth, you want to do birthing center, you want to do hospital birth, up to you. Samaritan will share the need, and pre-existing, any of that is also shared as a special prayer need. And then some partners to kind of help you along the way. I think I got everything, but appreciate you watching. Hey, if you know a friend, if you know or somebody that is a member of Samaritan Ministries, when you sign up or give Samaritan your information, make sure you let them know that person's name so that they can get credit for that. If you don't know anybody who's a member, and you found this video helpful, I'd be glad to have you put my name down. So my name is Derek Thorp, DerekThorp. So I appreciate that if you don't know somebody who's a member. But I hope this video has been helpful to you. Thanks for watching on the Samaritan FAQ page. Really appreciate it.